Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appear in our today's Hindi newspaper. First of all, I'll let you know the topics of the day, and later on we are going to see each and every topic, and I'll let you know how many dimensions you have to think and how can question be formed in prelims or mains, and at last I'll be giving you prelims practice questions as well, guys. And online students, please don't skip this video anywhere. Please do watch last so that you will be getting lots of insights regarding how to prepare current affairs. Okay, first let us see the topics of the day. First one is Gherav of Judicial Staff, a challenge to Supreme Court, says CJI. So this article is talking about one important concept called as contempt of court. On this contempt of court, you may get question, and if you see PYQs of polity, UPSC already asked question related to this contempt of court in year 2018. Okay, and now there is a very big issue which is going on in West Bengal, and Supreme Court said that it is an attempt of decreasing the value of court that comes under this contempt of court. So here you have to see what is that, and this topic is important from polity from GS paper 2. And next topic is petrochemical goods tax cut in view of war. So on around 40 petrochemical goods, there is zero excise duty, zero customs duty that is imposed by government now. So because of this, you have to know what is this petrochemical goods. And if you see PYQs of your UPSC, especially related to science and technology, many a times they asked questions related to the basic science related part also. So here you may get a question regarding this petrochemical goods from basic science point of view, and you have to see what are those petrochemicals and examples where we'll use. From that area also UPSC can ask a question. And next one here is Cabinet's advice on grant of remission to convicts is binding on Governor, says High Court. Again, one more important potential point on which UPSC can ask a question is, what is the power of governor under Article 161? Article 161 talks about pardoning powers of governor. So here High Court said that cabinet advice on grant of remission to convicts is binding to the governor. That means governor is not having the discretionary power regarding this providing of pardoning powers. Now cabinet decision should be followed by the governor. That is the thing which mainly said by this High Court. On this you may get a question on pardoning powers of governor, or you may get question on comparing of pardoning powers of president and governor. And next topic is Nilgiri class INS Taragiri to be commissioned today. This year in your prelims 2026, you may get 4 to 6 questions related to defense only. You are expecting you may get minimum 4 questions on this defense. Why? Because Operation Sindoor is in use. Yes, and we use different equipment there, and we are having lots of deals with other countries, and even S-400 Triumph missile system is in use. And next here is like West Asia is also in conflict, and there are different weapons they are using, missiles, drones, everything. So because of this you may get enough number of questions, minimum 4 questions from this defense this time. So you have to see in detail about what are the missile systems, what are the frigates, what are the submarines, everything guys. And next one here is NASA's Artemis 2 mission, and it is also very important topic. And if you see PYQs related to space technology, many a times UPSC asked questions regarding lunar exploration, and even on this Artemis 1 mission also UPSC asked question. So now after 5 decades US came up with this Artemis mission 2. So it may be a potential prelims question. So I'll tell you how question can be expected from this topic, and it is important from GS paper 3 under science and technology. And next topic is a betrayal foretold. So it is about US and NATO related grouping guys. In our yesterday's class we discussed the topic. Okay, so these all are the topics now we are going to see in this class, and most of the topics are the potential topics where you can get questions in your prelims 2026. Focus on this prelims content first. Okay, say this article guys, Gherav of Judicial Staff, a challenge to Supreme Court, Say CJI. What does it mean? Okay, what we discussed in yesterday's class related to SIR. What Supreme Court said. Did we discuss any article regarding Supreme Court related to SIR yesterday? Related to West Bengal? That is the first article, right? What we discussed in yesterday's class? Because yesterday's class and today's class is having a link. Come on, what we discussed in yesterday's class? Online students, tell me in the comment box. Yesterday only we discussed. Tell me. Okay, so if your names are not appearing in the voter list, it is not like you are going to lose your right to vote, which is a constitutional vote. That is the thing we discussed. Yes. And what Supreme Court said, if your name is not there in voter list, if you are an eligible person, you can approach what? Tribunals. Yes. And these tribunals are headed by whom? Retired High Court judge. And whatever the judgment given by this tribunals is final. There cannot be any appellate jurisdiction or appellate. We cannot appeal that judgment to higher courts. That is the thing we discussed, right? And now you guys tell me approximately how many people they lost their number, they lost their name in their voter list in West Bengal. We are talking in the context of West Bengal only. We are not taking other states like Bihar or not. So here we are going to have elections in West Bengal, and people are raising concerns that they lost their name in this voter list, and they started filing more and more petitions to Supreme Court. And now Supreme Court said that yes, if you are really eligible, now you can go to tribunal. That is yesterday's story. So now you guys tell me approximately how many people they lost their names? Lakhs. Okay. If you can't remember the number, it is more than lakhs. If these all people going and approaching these tribunals, what happens? What happens? There will be increased burden on these tribunals, yes or no? For sure, we have increased burden on tribunals, and that led to Gherao. So here you have to know this meaning of Gherao. Gherao is nothing but if you want something from your mother to be done, what will you do? Will you allow to move there, move here and there? You'll stop her, and till you get what you want, you'll go on doing some activities with your mother, and you'll not let your mother to do her activities. That is a normally we can see, right? In the same way, what happened? So these people who lost their name in this voter list, so they didn't allow this judicial officers to go out from that office, and even for continuously 9 hours they don't have any food and water to drink. So this is called as Gherao. Are you understanding? So till whatever you want to get done, so we are not allowing the authorities to go away or leave even after the time, and even for 9 hours they don't have food and as well as water. So this is the event. Is that right? What do you think? Is that right? For your work to be done, is that right to stop other people's or to take away other people's right of eating food or drinking water? It is very important for sustenance of life, right? So here, because of this, now Supreme Court said that it is a planned action. It comes under contempt of court. Are you understanding here? Is that right? Whatever Supreme Court said now, is that right or not? Will you accept it or not? Will you accept it? Not completely, then? Partially. How partially and why partially? Come on. It's right. It's right to you. Next. Contempt of court is right. Okay. So how can you expect a question? Because it is not a small issue. Yes or no? It is not at all a small issue. We should not stop authorities from leaving the office after their timings. And without food and water for 9 hours, it will be very difficult for them, right? So without food, we can live for 1 month, but without water, not even 4 days. Without single drop of water, you cannot live not more than 4 days. So here 9 hours. Already this is summer season started. Dehydration can happen. Body electrolyte imbalance can happen. That will leads to the impact on their health. Yes, that means their right to health and their Article 21 had been violated here. So because of this, Supreme Court said that it comes under contempt of court. So how can you get a question here? Will they ask about this issue, everything? No. So what is a chance where UPSC can ask a question? First one, it is about SIR is one possible area. Are you understanding? Consider the following statements regarding SIR. That is the first possible question. Second one is consider the following statements regarding contempt of court, and they'll give you 2 to 3 statements. Are you understanding? So there are 2 possibilities of question from this topic. First one, it is about SIR. You know everything about SIR. And next one here is you have to see about contempt of court. Okay, now you guys tell me, you already completed polity. So how many types of contempts are there? So what you have to see is, first of all, you have to know about contempt of court. So I want to give one tip, guys. So whenever you are reading any concept in polity, you have to see what is a source of that, where it is written. For example, I am talking about contempt of court, right? So you have to see what is the meaning of that contempt of court. Second one here is whether it is written in the constitution or not. You have to check. If it is written in the constitution, you have to see which article is talking about that. If it is not written in constitution, but where it is written, either in the rule books of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha or any other act which is talking about that, you have to see that, because UPSC will test that. For example, if UPSC is giving a question on this contempt of court, the first statement will be, contempt of court is defined in Indian constitution. Do we have this contempt of word in our constitution? Yes or no? Again confusion. Yes or no? Which article? Think once again. Not definition. Okay, but where the definition of this contempt of court is there? Are you understanding? The first thing here is you have to see what is the source, whether it is in the constitution or any other rule book or laws of houses. Next one here is, do we have any particular act? So we have Contempt of Court Act of 1971, which talks about this contempt of court. It is not written in constitution. That is the first point. And here, how many types of contempt we have? 2 types. First one is yes, civil contempt. First one is civil contempt. Second one is criminal contempt. So here, what is the possibility of getting statements in prelims? So they may give you one statement about civil contempt, one statement about criminal contempt, right? Okay. After discussing the civil contempt and criminal contempt, I'll ask you one question. You have to answer that, okay? Now let us see this article. 7 judicial officers, including 3 women, garrotted inside a government office for 9 hours without food and water. Officers also pelted with stones while being rescued after midnight. After midnight, police and civil administration, they came and they did some activities so that they came out of that office. So in this way here, people started attacking this judicial officers. Okay, so what Supreme Court said here is, our CJ Suryakant declared that garrow of judicial officers is a challenge to Supreme Court authority, and he also said that it is a well calculated, well planned and deliberate move. So because of this move, what happened? It demoralized officers, and because of this kind of action, obviously it will affect the functioning of this judiciary. Yes or no? It is disrupting adjudication process. And now he also made one shocking statement, that is, I have never seen such a politically polarized state like West Bengal. So from decades onwards, this kind of incident not happened in our country. For the first time it happened. So because of this, CJ said that I have never seen such a politically polarized state like West Bengal. Okay, so these are the statements given by CJI. Now we have to see about contempt of court. So we have one act, please make a note, that is Contempt of Courts Act of 1971. Says about this contempt of court, and we have 2 types. One is civil contempt, second one is criminal contempt. What is civil? What is civil? For example, Supreme Court or High Court gave a judgment, but you are not following that judgment. Okay, you are wantedly not following that judgment. That is called as civil contempt. Okay, and criminal contempt means you are trying to lower the authority of judges, like throwing stones. And for example, you can also scold them publicly. And because of your activities, if it is causing disruption in activities of court, that comes under criminal contempt. Civil means nothing but just you are not obeying the orders of court, that comes under civil. But if you are doing something wantedly to reduce or to decrease the authority of court, which is disrupting the activities, then that comes under criminal court. Okay, criminal contempt. So here in this case, what happened? People, they threw stones and even they stopped them, and there was no water and food for them for 9 hours. So because of this, what happened? Overall functioning of judiciary is getting affected. So Supreme Court said that it comes under criminal contempt. Are you understanding? Okay, civil contempt is written in section 2B of Contempt of Court Act 1971, and it defines it as a willful disobedience of any judgment or any order, direction or writ by the court. If you are willfully, voluntarily, if you are not following that, then it comes under civil contempt. Then what about criminal contempt? So criminal contempt is nothing but if you are publishing any publication either in words or spoken or written by signs or any visible representation or otherwise any matter which scandalizes, means nothing but which decreases the value or which decreases the authority of any court, or if it interferes or if it tends to interfere with the course of any judicial proceedings, or if it is interfering or obstructing the administration of justice in any manner, comes under criminal contempt. So how can you get a question here is, consider the following statement regarding contempt of court. First one, they will give about Constitution of India. Second one is about civil contempt. Third one is about criminal contempt. Okay, I want to ask you a question. Supreme Court gave a judgment. Okay, recently Sabarimala judgment, you know, right? Women are allowed into temple. Okay, women are now allowed into the Sabarimala temple. So after that, people of Kerala, are they satisfied? They are doing protest, and even they asked for what? Again, they asked for review of this judgment, right? We discussed that. What is review petition? What is curative petition? Yes, and again review petition had been filed. Okay, now tell me whether it comes under contempt of court or not. Are you understanding? Tell me. It won't come under contempt of court. So if any judgment given by the Supreme Court or High Court, if people are not satisfied that, yes, if they are doing protest, that will not come under contempt of court. Okay? That is one PYQ, I guess. Not in UPSC but CAPF exam. Okay, see this next article, guys. Read out the title. Petrochemical goods tax cut in view of war. So here this article is saying that central government is providing full custom duty exemption for about 40 petrochemicals till June 30 because of West Asian war. And they gave some examples here. Polypropylene, polystyrene, polyols, styrene, butadiene, anhydrous ammonia. So no need of remembering this, but you have to know what are these petrochemicals. Okay, see this article, guys. If you go through PYQs of science and technology, they will be asking questions based on general science. Many a times they asked about plastic. In 2024, 2025, there was a question on plastic. And before that, there was a question on PAT. In 2023 or 2024? 2020 or 2024, there was a question on PAT. They asked, in that they gave one statement, alcohol is stored in this PAT related bottles. Can you recall that question? But alcohol, whenever we see, if you go to any shop, that will be sold in glass. You know better than me. Glass bottles, not in any plastic bottles, right? Okay, like that, based on your general everyday, day-to-day observation also, you can solve some questions of UPSC case. Don't think that everything should be present in my notes, in my book. I should read it for sure. It won't happen. So based on your general observation skills also, you can do some questions. Okay, so here how question can be asked? The first one here is statement based question can be possible, right? Consider the following statements regarding petrochemicals. On this, you may get a question. Okay, and next one is they may give 4 to 5 chemicals and they may ask you which of the above comes under petrochemicals. Is that also a possibility? And petrochemicals are having wide range of applications. On these applications, you may get a question because in 2023 and 22 there was questions on microplastics. They asked about applications, especially they are present in sunscreen, cosmetics, like that they asked questions, guys. So here this time, because of this West Asian crisis, for sure you may get questions regarding this crude oil related products, refineries, fractional distillation, petrol, diesel, LPG, LNG, PNG. We are discussing those topics, right? So from that area you should be very thorough. And now government exempted custom duty on this petrochemicals. So you may get a question on excise duty. Recently excise duty on petrol and diesel had been reduced and now entirely the custom duty on this petrochemicals had been removed. On this excise duty and custom duty also you may get question. Okay, you have to know this excise duty and custom duty also. Okay, now let us see about this petrochemicals. Petrochemicals are nothing but chemical compounds obtained by refining and processing of what? Hydrocarbons. What are the source of hydrocarbons? We have crude oil and natural gas. If you go for processing of this oil and natural gas, what are the chemical compounds we'll get? They are called as petrochemicals. And recently we discussed about petrodollar also. On this also you may get a question. Okay, and this petrochemicals contains primarily carbon, hydrogen atom. They are nothing but hydrocarbons. Okay, you know this propane, butane, propylene, butylene. I think you might have studied in your inter plus 2 in chemistry, organic chemistry part, last chapters. Single bond, double bond, triple bond. So all we have carbons and we have hydrogens. So what are the products which is having either single bond, double bond, triple bond with this carbon and hydrogen comes under this hydrocarbons. Okay, in that way you can remember propylene, butylene. If you are having this kind of words, that will be coming under your petrochemicals. And normally these petrochemicals are classified into 3 types. I think you might have studied in your intermediate. How many of you can recall? Recall as possible. See here, first one is olefins. Olefins are unsaturated straight chain hydrocarbons. So normally we will be writing like this, no? We are going on adding carbons. If it is having 1 means meth, 2 means eth, 3 means what? 3 means prop, 4 means but, like that. So if you are having a straight chain hydrocarbons, they are called as olefins. Okay, ethylene, propylene, butadiene, like that. And we have aromatics. Aromatics nothing but benzene, like that. There will be a closed structure. Do you know this? Closed structure, open chain model. I think you might have studied in your intermediate. I don't know. Okay, so olefins are nothing but straight chain hydrocarbons, and we have aromatics that they are nothing but the ring structured hydrocarbons. Example is benzene, toluene, xylene. Can you recall that? And next one is others like synthetic gas or syngas, which we will produce by methanol, ammonia and some inorganics. If you see PYQs, they asked even question on synthetic gas and coal gasification method in 2023 and 2024. So because of this, you need to know that basics. On this also UPSC is asking questions. This time you may get question on this aromatics and olefins. Already syngas already been asked in 2023 and 2024. Okay, what are the examples of key petrochemicals? First one is ethylene. Ethylene is widely used olefin. We have propylene, we have benzene, we have toluene and xylene, we have butadiene and we have methanol. So these are the famous petrochemicals that we will use. And what are the applications? We can use in making of plastics, we can use them making of fibers, fuel additives and etc. Okay, and polythene, you know this polythene, whatever the bags that you are using covers, they are made up of polythene, which are mainly used for making of bags, films, even bottles and packaging material. And we have polypropylene. So it is used in this automotive parts, carpets, food containers, and even in textiles will use this polypropylene. And we have PVC. I think you might have seen about this PVC pipes. Okay, PVC is used in pipes, cables, and medical tubings. For tubes, we'll use this PVC. And next one is we have polystyrene. Polystyrene is used as packaging foam. Normally, if you buy any mobiles or anything, you will be getting a foam paper, bubbles, bubble, bubble. If you press that, you will get sound. We will be getting lots of entertainment by playing that. So that is nothing but packaging foam. Packaging foam will have this polystyrene and even disposable cups. Earlier, if you go back to 10 years or 15 years back, we used to have plastic glasses. Now we are getting paper cups for drinking tea. But earlier we used to have white color small cups. So those are made up of polystyrene. So like that, we can use this petrochemicals in different applications. Okay, and even we can use them in synthetic fibers and rubbers also, like in tires, seals, even the footwear, even in carpet industry and clothing industry also we are using that. And even we can use them in making of ammonia and urea, especially syngas is used in fertilizers, and solvents and paints also we will use that. So we have toluene, xylene, acetone derivatives. And on the solvents and paints in 2017 there was a question in SNT. Okay, you have to see that also. And next one is in detergents and cosmetics also we'll use them, even in medical and pharmaceutical products, food packaging and preservatives, construction automotive industries, even in agriculture, pesticides and herbicides, and anti-freezing agents and explosives also we will use this petrochemicals. Okay, because of this wide use, if you are not getting that crude oil from this West Asia countries, they are also getting affected. So because of this, they are getting exemption of custom duty now. Are you understanding? Okay, see this next guys, it is very important topic. For sure you may get a question on this from space technology, from science and technology. See here guys, 4 astronauts blasted off for a journey around the moon from Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida, the US. The Artemis 2 is the first crewed lunar flyby in more than 50 years. If you see PYQs in 1980s, there was a question on this Kennedy Space Center. There was one more question on this Florida. I can't exactly recall what is that question, but they asked question about this Kennedy Space Center and Florida. Okay, actually Kennedy Space Center question is related to Artemis only, Artemis 1, but I can't recall the question related to Florida. India used that Florida to launch which mission, like that they asked a question. So see PYQ so that you will get exactly what they asked, or else after the class I'll let you know. Okay. Okay, so here if you see the second statement, you can understand that Artemis 2 is first crewed lunar flyby in more than 50 years. That means after 50 years again they are going to have a mission. That is nothing but they are sending humans to moon because of the Citizen News. Okay. Now let us see exactly what this article is about. NASA's Artemis 2 mission was launched on 1st April 2026, and it is a vital crewed test flight, and they want to re-establish human presence beyond low Earth orbit for the first time over 5 decades. Over 5 decades again US launched this human crew mission. Okay, what is this Artemis 2? Artemis 2 is the first mission to carry humans to moon vicinity. So actually earlier US launched this Artemis 1 mission. Artemis 1 mission, they didn't launch any humans. Only that spacecraft went and just it moved around the moon and it came back. But now after 5 decades they send the second mission, and in the second mission they are sending 4 humans, 4 persons into this space. And next one here is, it is a second scheduled flight after Artemis program. and it is the first crewed Artemis mission. Okay, and they are using Orion spacecraft and Space Launch System rocket. You have to remember this. On this also UPSC can ask you a question. Okay, Orion spacecraft they are using now, and even they are using Space Launch System rocket. And the next one here is Artemis 2 will be the first time humans travel abroad the spacecraft. Okay, after more than 50 years, and in this mission 4 astronauts they will take a 10-day flight around the moon. They are not going to land on the moon, but for 10 days they will be moving around the moon and they will come back. And they are planning other Artemis missions in future. So as of now they launch Artemis 2, but they are planning Artemis 3, Artemis 4 and Artemis 5. So in Artemis 3 they want to land female astronaut and other astronauts on this lunar surface. So first one is they sent just spacecraft and it came back. Second one here is they are sending 4 astronauts now. Just they will move around the moon, but they will not land on moon. But in the third one, humans will land on moon and the target year is 2028. Okay, and next one is Artemis 4. In this Artemis 4, they want to deliver new lunar space station. They want to have a lunar space station around the moon. And in the fifth one, they want to go for adding of another module to this lunar space station. That name of that station is Gateway. So in this way, they are planning 5 Artemis, and you may get question in this way. Consider the following statements regarding Artemis 2. Okay, and they will give you the statements. Or else recently Artemis 2 is in news. Which of the following space agency launched it? ISRO, JAXA, NASA, ESA. Like that they may give the question. And if they want to complicate the question, they may give you the pair based question. Artemis 1, Artemis 2, Artemis 3, and they will give you what is that, and you have to identify the right pairs. And one more type of question that you can expect here is, only NASA is not only the space agency which launched this moon related missions. Even ISRO have Chandrayaan, right? And we are planning Chandrayaan 4, Chandrayaan 5 in future. After this Chandrayaan 3 becomes success. And even China have its own missions like Chang 4, Chang 5. So they may give question in the combination like all these missions and which agency launched this and what is the aim of this also. In this way also you may get all these lunar missions in a single question of different countries. That is also a possible question. Are you understanding? So in that way you have to prepare. What you have to do is you have to write down this lunar missions in a single page of India, China, Japan, Russia and USA. Okay. Okay, see this next article guys. Cabinet advice on grant of remission to convicts is binding on governor, says High Court. Which High Court is saying that? Madras High Court guys. Okay, now tell me what you have to see. You have to see about pardoning powers of governor. Okay, so how can you expect a question here is directly they may ask you about articles. Which article talks about this pardoning power of governor? 161. And this pardoning powers are present with only two persons. One is president, second one is governor. So governor's article is 161. Then what is the article of president? 72. Think once again. Paka. Okay. So first one here is you have to see article. And next one is, now tell me guys, what are the pardoning powers of president or governor? What are the pardoning powers? We have 5. What are they? What are the pardoning powers of governor or president? Pardon, remission, next. Commute, next. Respite, reprieve. So we have 5 pardoning powers. Okay, so how can you expect a question? First one is articles, keep it aside. Second one here is you may get a question on these 5 pardoning powers. They'll give you match the following based. If you see the PYQs of polity, this type of questions were there. They gave pair based. On one side you will get these 5 words. On another side they will give you explanation and you have to identify which pairs are correct or how many pairs are correct. Okay. Now tell me guys, what is the meaning of pardon? Pardon means what? completely removing the sentence, punishment, everything, and will let him free. He will be a free bird. That is called as pardon. Then what is remission? Reduce. For example, whatever the act he did, for example, for that the punishment is like 14 years of imprisonment. In remission, what we'll do? We'll reduce that 14 years to 7 years or 5 years or like that. We are reducing this sentence time period. That is called as remission. Then what is respite? Respite is nothing but for special circumstances. For example, if a woman is pregnant or if a woman is lactating. Have you seen this Jawan movie? In that Jawan, the Deepika Padukone is about to get hanged. But at that time, she comes to know that she is pregnant. What happened? That had been delayed for how many years? 5 years. In that song only, know that boy will be cutting bun. After that, she will be taking and she will be again hanging. She will be hanged like that. So in that some kind of special circumstances, there will be reducing of punishment. That is called as respite. Then what is commute? Yes, one form to another form. Okay, that is the commute. Then what is reprieve? Reprieve. Think, you can do it. Reprieve. We will give a stay. We will stop to some time period. That is called as reprieve. In the same way, we have 5 writs, no? So you have to see these 5 writs and 5 pardoning powers. They are the favorite areas of UPSC guys. Remember this. You have to know these 5 writs. What are the 5 writs? Habeas corpus, mandamus, certiorari, prohibition, quo warranto. You have to see these 5 writs and you have to know this 5 pardoning powers for sure. On this, UPSC can ask you a question. Okay, now this article is talking about solely regarding pardoning power of governor. If you see this title, it is saying that Madras High Court said that governor's pardoning power is not discretionary. He has to follow aid and advice of Council of Ministers. That is about this article. That's it. Nothing more than that. Okay, now what you have to see? The context here is Madras High Court held that governor, whether he or she likes or not, they have to bow by the advice of Council of Ministers under Article 161. Article 161 talks about pardoning powers of governor. Related to the pardoning powers, it is not discretionary power of governor. He has to be bound. He has to be bound to this advice of Council of Ministers. That is the High Court judgment. Okay, what is the meaning of pardoning power? Pardoning power is nothing but, so if any person who had been convicted of crime, if he is facing any punishment, so governor or president can grant leniency or clemency for that person. That is called as pardoning power. Okay, and this power will allow executive to intervene in judiciary, administration of justice, to mitigate severity of punishment. Now here executive is interfering in this judiciary, and now executive is trying to reduce the severity of punishment to protect potential miscarriages of justice or to address any humanitarian concerns or protection of human rights. Okay, pardoning powers of governor is said in this article 161 of Constitution, and governor is having 5 powers. What are they? Pardon, reprieve, respite, remission, okay, remissions of punishment, remit, commute. So these are the 5 pardoning powers to the governor. Same thing is also present with president. But here there is one twist. Here president is having pardoning powers, governor is having pardoning powers. Do these 2 persons have same level of powers? Who will have more powers? Obviously president will have more powers. In 2 conditions, only in 2 conditions, president will have more power, that too related to only pardon. Only related to pardon, power of president is more compared to that of governor. And now you guys tell me what are those 2 conditions. On this UPSC will ask you a question. Okay, normally if you see in polity, they will not ask questions on routine things, only exemption things, only discretionary things on which UPSC will focus. If you are remembering the routine things and if you are leaving these extraordinary things, means you will be out only. What you have to focus is extraordinary things. For example, normally the tenure of any post will be 5 years. For some it is more than 5 years. So you have to remember that more than 5 years. Why constitution is giving more than 5 years? Because they are very powerful. Government should not touch in that, right? So because of that only they have more power, more tenure. So which are those which is having more than 5 years of tenure? Come on. In this way you have to study, not like routine way. Which is having like less than 1 year of tenure or 3 years of tenure? If tenure is low means we can see there will be government interference. Tell me where we have less tenure and where we have more tenure than 5 years. If you study in that way, then only you will not get confused in examination. If you read like routine way, remembering everything means it won't happen, guys. UPSC will ask questions on this only. Okay, now tell me what are the two exceptions where president power is more in pardon? Military, okay. Martial court. In martial court judgment, governor cannot interfere. Only president can interfere. That is the one thing. Next one is death sentence. Yes, very good. Okay, so we have two exceptions. The first one is death sentence. President can grant pardon in all cases where sentence of death is given, but governor cannot pardon a death sentence. Okay, cannot pardon. But what is the power of a governor? Governor can suspend or remit or commute the death sentence, but completely he cannot remove this death sentence. That is the first difference. Are you understanding? And the second one is court martial. President of India possesses pardoning power with respect to punishment or sentences related to military court. Military court is also called as court martial, but that power is not there with governor. Governor cannot interfere with this military court related things, but president, he has a power. So on these two areas only, president is having some more powers compared to that of governor. Are you understanding? Okay, you know about this pardon, right? Pardon means nothing but removal of sentence, conviction completely. That person will become free. Okay, that is called as pardon. What is commute? Commute means nothing but we are decreasing the punishment from 14 years to 7 years or 5 years, like that. And next one is remission. Remission is nothing but we are reducing the period of sentence without changing its character. And next one is respite. Respite is nothing but some special circumstances like pregnancy, specially disabled persons or lactating women, we are giving lesser sentence. Reprieve is nothing but we are going to give a stay for a temporary period, that is called as reprieve. Okay, see this next article, guys. Nilgiri class INS Taragiri to be commissioned today. Very important topic, and you have to know this and you have to by heart the facts. There is no choice. This time I said minimum 4 questions you can get from this defense. Don't be get shocked, guys, this time. Okay, now let us see here. So what you can do here is whatever the defense related equipments which are there in news from last 1 to 1.5 years, not only in Indian news, even the West Asia news also you have to see. Last time UPSC asked pair based question from this defense. They gave equipments and they gave country which manufactured them. This time also you can expect that kind of questions. Okay. Yeah, let us see this article. Title says Nilgiri class INS Taragiri to be commissioned today. Okay, this INS Taragiri is 4th ship of Nilgiri class. So we are developing our equipment for our Navy, Army and Air Force. So for Navy we have ships, frigates, we have aircraft carriers, we have submarines, right? So actually this INS is nothing but Indian naval ship. Wherever you see INS, it is Indian naval ship, and the name is Taragiri, and we are developing this Nilgiri class frigates under this project called as Project 17A. So what is Project 17A is? Government of India is having an ambitious target to develop 7 Nilgiri class frigates for our Indian Navy. Out of the 7, we commissioned already 3. And now the 4th one is INS Taragiri. It is as simple as that. So Government of India is developing frigates under this project 17A. Under this target is we have to develop 7 frigates. and as of now we done with 3 and we commissioned that into our Indian Navy. Now finally this INS Taragiri is ready and now we are commissioning that to our Indian Navy today. Are you understanding? So here you have to know about what is this project 17A and you have to know about some features of this INS Taragiri. That's it. Okay, it is built by Megazone Dock Shipbuilding Limited, MDL, which is of Mumbai. And next one here is, it is having lots of capabilities to meet present and as well as future maritime challenges. And this project 17 is focusing on indigenization, that is nothing but domestic production of our defense. And in this frigate, around 75% of content we use to make that is from India itself. Okay, if you see about this project 17A, our Indian Navy initiative want to build 7 advanced frigates. Okay, so in this 7, 4 are built by this MDL and other 3 are built by another company. In this 4 we have Nilagiri, Udayagiri, Taragiri and Mahendragiri. And other 3 are Himagiri, Duragiri and Vidyagiri. So out of that we got 3 frigates which had been done, that is INS Himagiri we got, Udayagiri we got, INS Nilagiri we got, and now we got this INS Taragiri. It is a 4th one. That's it. Okay. Yeah, now let us see next article. See this title, guys. A betrayal foretold. So in yesterday's class we discussed, what we discussed? NATO didn't supported US in Iran war. So because of this now US said that wherever you want, you go and you can buy your oil. So that is the thing that we discussed, right? The same thing which is given here. And in our today's newspaper, most of the articles are related to this INS Taragiri. And next one is this one, contempt of court. Many articles are there. And even the first article we discussed, right? Contempt of court on that. And there is one more article, yeah. Very important article here is, do you know NCERT? You will read NCERT books, right? NCERT got a status of institution status. Now NCERT can launch courses, can provide degrees also. On that tomorrow we'll get editorial. So we'll discuss in detail in tomorrow's class, because in that article I didn't get much information to explain about that. So in tomorrow's class we'll discuss that in detail. So that is the one thing. Yeah, that's it, guys. Most of the articles I covered. Okay, see these questions. Today I came up with 3 questions. First one, read it out. It is about Artemis 2. First one, it is a first crewed mission under NASA's Artemis program. It will land humans on the moon surface. It will use Orion spacecraft. It will orbit the moon and return Earth without landing. Okay, so if you see the statements, there are 2 statements. One is saying that landing, one is saying that without landing. If you are having this kind of statements, one is saying yes, one is saying no. In our tricks what we discussed, only one statement will be right. Okay, that means either 2 will be there or 4 will be there. Okay, if 2 and 4 both are there means that option will be wrong. Okay, even though if you don't know landing or not landing, keep it aside. So here in these 2 statements only one will right. But in the options, if 2 will be there means of course that option will be wrong option, right? So here 2 is there, 4 is there. That means this option will be wrong. 2, 4 will be wrong. So now you have to see whether B or C is right. So in that way you have to use your elimination techniques. If you don't know means don't leave that. You have to see whether you are getting any hint in other statements or not. For sure you will be getting hint in other statements. Okay, now tell me guys, what is the answer? C? Yes. So here we are not going to land. We are just having a 10 days mission and we are going for moving around the moon only. We are not going to land. Okay, are you understanding? So if you are coming with 50% chances also, like you will be having a great chance of clearing UPSC. Okay, always you have to fight in your examination hall. You should not leave simply like a loser. Okay, see this guys. Second question. Consider the following statements regarding the pardoning power of governor. Oh shit, I didn't keep 1, 2, 3 now. Okay, 1, 2, 3. First one is, it is provided under Article 161 of Indian Constitution. Governor can pardon death sentence. Governor can grant pardon in case of court martial. How many of which of the statements are correct? What about court martial? Only it is power of president, not governor. For sure, 3 is wrong. And this one is government can pardon death sentence? No. 2 is also wrong. So answer is B, 1 only. Are you understanding? Answer this next question, guys. Consider the following statements. Governor's pardoning power is coexistence with executive power of state. Second one, governors acts independently while exercising pardoning power. Governor is bound by advice of State Council of Minister. The title of today's article is only saying that if governor likes it or not, he has to bound to the advice of Council of Ministers. That means he cannot act independently. Yes. So if you remove option 2, only 2 options left. Tell me, guys. Yes, he is bounded by advice of State Council of Minister. So answer is 1 and 3 only. Okay. So in that way you have to solve this. Try to get the techniques to solve this prelims. If you are not using techniques, means you can't do that questions. And whenever you are not aware of that also, you can get one or other hint in other statements. You have to find out that hint. What is that? Okay. That's all, guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. And if you like this class, please do hit the like button and please share this class to your friends. And do subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy. Don't forget. And I wish you all the best.